Yo, what's up, baby? Yo, GM fam, hope you are doing all right. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. What is today, actually? It's close to the 25th because I know that's when Nashville is. The 22nd, July 22nd. Mr. Dude, Jacob, and Kid. Hey, guys, come on up. It's time to get on up here. We're going to not get super political. It's just a clickbait headline. You know it's the same people, same show. It's the...
Oh, damn. Not political. That was the only reason why I came in here, you know.
We're saving that for Nashville, Kid.
Religion, you know, and all the other stuff that offends people, you know.
Yes.
We're saving it for Nashville, baby.
Oh, yeah. We were talking, Mr. Dude and I were talking before we went on air here about all the fun stuff that we are excited about getting into when we get to Nashville. Doing some man on the street questions, going to be finding some answers to life's greatest mysteries. I think I'm excited about the questions we're building. Maybe we should do.
It's just fun shit, right? Like
we should let
like normies can answer them.
Yes. And I think what we could do is probably a community question as well, so we could ask our people in we've got the Telegram that is open, but if you happen to be in the Twitter group, that's like the most exclusive VIP channel on x.com. So shout out to all the folks that are in there. Speaking of shouting out, shout out to the folks watching. If you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like. And if you're watching on X, you know what I noticed? That doesn't really produce a lot of results, Mr. Dude. Like, what do you think about this? Like, I've been saying to hit the heart, and I noticed that the heart does not get hit during the live video. What do we do about that?
You know what I think we should do is like a nice little practice. We should all do like a group activity, right? So like on the count of 3, we will all go and hit the heart button or the retweet button if you're feeling really thing. We do it a group activity, right? We go 3, 2, 1, and we all just go and do it all at once, and then we're all in it together.
Okay, so here we go.
And then we all get shadow banned at the same time.
Yes,
perfect.
I'm even. You can see I'm logged into my own Twitter account. You can trust me if you can. It's a little focus out of focus, but I'm logged into my own Twitter account. I'm even going to like my own video, which is something I never do. I never like my own post.
No one sees your likes anymore. You're allowed to do it.
That's not true.
Only you can see your likes.
No.
I can't see that you liked it.
I can see.
Yeah. They took that away from us.
You got to keep up with the X.
I mean, they took that away from you guys. I still see the likes that people are getting. Like, let's look at something here. Let's just do a little exercise. I'll go to the.
I think you have to like click. You have to like click on them and like go in and find out who's liking it. But when you're just scrolling your timeline, you don't just see like, oh, J Chain's like this.
No. Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because when you follow people and then they like some very provocative sites, you know, when you're like, wait a second, so and so likes, you know, busty gardeners. Or
whatever. You're like, I will like that actually.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I still see likes. I still see it on my For You and my following. Like, let's just see, like Julie Kenneth. She's one of our people in the community. Excited to do some content with her in Nashville. She's going to be at the KC event. We're going to do some stuff for the podcast. Anyway, I see that her post from 9 hours ago has 20 likes. I see likes.
But you don't see who liked it. You just see 20 likes. Like, you know how before it would say things like Elon Musk liked this photo and then fucking everything would blow up, right? Like now you just see that there are likes.
I don't even get likes anymore. When somebody puts the heart, it just sends me a picture of their middle finger. I mean, it's getting tough.
Because you're a founder. That's just what happens when you become a founder on X.
I guess I see what you're saying. Like you can't like go in and be more granular because I think like before you could like click like underneath where it says how many posts, reposts, quote, likes, bookmarks, all that stuff. You could like click that and then you could see. You're right. You could see who did that, made those actions. It doesn't take you anywhere when you click that now. Okay.
Yeah, they're keeping it private because I tell you, there's some people out there that click some likes on some sites that they probably shouldn't have, and then now everybody knows what you like.
Yeah, and I guess there were like obviously I never experienced it because I'm just an ugly looking dude, but I guess there were like especially females who had to worry like people were like stalking them, right? Creeping like everything they were doing and just stalking them. When I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Like seriously, get a life.
Or if you like a certain political party, right, and you give a thumbs up, and then they come down to your work, and oh my goodness,
God,
Did you like that post from the orange dude? Yes, I did. We're going to fire you.
Well, it's like, think about the lady at the Home Depot, right? Did you guys remember that story? This was from a couple of weeks ago. She had made some comment, and then she got called out. The guy videotaped her at Home Depot. The next day, the next thing I saw online was like a message from Home Depot saying, "This, it's not the message that we condone. She's no longer an employee." Like, that shit'll get you. That shit's gonna get you.
And that's wild. Like, that's just like a minimum wage job, and people are looking to ruin their lives over like half the time. Let's, in that case, a political opinion. On another case, it's like people make jokes online. Like, give me a break. First of all, laugh and get over yourself.
Yeah. I saw it's like one of those
Clearly
like
you don't understand how social media works. It's you have to be offended by everything that you read. That's the first rule.
Yeah, very good.
I forget.
What am I going to get offended by today? Let's go online.
Seriously.
I'm offended. Let's go get them.
So it was this quote. It was a tweet this morning that I'd seen as well. I forget who it was. I believe I believe it was a rapper. And it was about cyberbullying, and it was basically to the effect of like, how in the world can you be cyberbullied? Just turn your phone off.
Oh my God, I saw that thread. It was like the funniest tweets of the last like year or something. And that was one of the worst. Like, just leave, just close the site.
Just like close your phone. Like, you'll be fine. And if you need to close your eyes for a minute, it's gonna go away. Like, it's not a real thing.
That was a good one. And it makes sense. Like, obviously, cyberbullying is a sense of like someone doing it constantly. Like, you're a kid and you're on MSN Messenger, and like every time you log in, you're getting hate messages. But like that post was hilarious.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's what the block and the mute are for.
I just call that a normal day. That's what I get every day. We love you, M Kid.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. Yeah, always complaining.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you gotta experience the bad for the good, right? We all get those messages that when you get them, you shake your head sometimes, and you're like, man, what's going through that person's head? But then
like someone hops on the space and goes, hey, fuck you, you fucker, and then you're like, hey, what the hell did I do today, man?
Like, okay, cool.
I do miss that. That was a poignant moment in this.
What was that guy's name?
Like the general, I think.
Yeah, the commander.
I mean, not that I remember, not that I think about it every day.
The commander.
I thought it was really coming for me, but when I heard it from you, it was quite refreshing. I was like, oh, it's not for M Kid, it's for Mr. Dude. I'm like, I get some popcorn, guys. Let's sit back. Let's listen to this.
I remember, dude, when he popped in here, and he's just like, I'm the fucking commander. It's like, what? Like, what are you the commander of? Mr. Dude, you fucker. Like, oh, shit.
Right? I was just like, what did I do to piss this guy? We need to like invite him back just to at least find out before.
We're going to have to go back and bring the commander in. I think we'll do a special guest. Just like you and him do like a fireside.
Yeah, just like a get down to business. I'm curious. Like, what did I do? Did I not let him up on stage? Like, did I tell him to go fuck himself? I try to be at least, fair in who I swear at and stuff.
I mean, that seems like more of like a reasonable thing. So what do you guys think of this weekend? We might as well talk about it a little bit.
No, I think he lost what the deal was.
What's that? That was Neil, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying, Mr. Dude cost him $40, so he wanted to get his attention, and let him know.
Yeah, I agree. You're actually probably right on something like that. But Neil, give us your take. You're always incognito out there in the world. So we know you got your camo on. Give us your take on what happened over the weekend.
Oh man, I don't really know how to feel about it. I don't know who they're going to stick up there. I don't know how they're going to accomplish this mountain of a climb to get over this Trump deal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like, it's a loser's
I think it's
battle.
Kamala. I think it's all going to be Kamala. And I think it's purposely done to because nobody else in the Democratic Party really wants to step up and go against Trump at the last minute like this. Mm-hmm. So she's going to be the fall gal.
That's a good point, and she has been around for the 4 years, right?
She's so hated. She's so hated by even the people in her own party. They're just going to put her up there and blame it on her.
Well, and she used to be a prosecutor, and like obviously, like being Canadian, like I don't know all of her history, but like from what I've seen, like she is decent at like the debating and the arguing. So if she cranks it up a notch, right, with the Trump, and they just argue back and forth, then you're right. Then it's not.
You can
it's
go
not
back and
bad
look at
for
her
her.
debates. It was a little rough. She got no delegates when she was running for president whatsoever.
I'm telling you, those debates.
She didn't do too well.
I think I'm pretty sure that there are going to be comedy bits that will be lifelong that come out of.
So that's good
debate.
for crypto, right? Because crypto lives in the meme space, and we need more memes.
We do need more memes.
Wait, you'll get your Kamala coins out there now, and they'll probably go up, and then rug on you. But they'll be, I guarantee, they'll be if there aren't already.
Bowden didn't that Joe Bowden token just take a nosedive? Like
I believe it got rugged.
Another thing that I saw. What's the gambling site? Polymesh.
Polymarket. That lettuce. Oh yes,
lettuce hands beat out Biden.
The lettuce actually won. Like last week, it was looking rough because Biden was all like, I'm in it, and like the lettuce was just like not gonna last longer than Biden, and it fucking lasted longer than Biden.
That's too funny.
It was insane, like ahead of lettuce. That is
if you guys were to go back 13 years ago when I got into Bitcoin, and you would sit here and tell me, hey, crypto is going to be all political. It's going to be all based upon what big banks are doing and what the interest rates of the Federal Reserve are going to affect the price. I would have told you to go, shove a what up your ass. And
a beer bomb.
Here we are.
A beer bomb.
Now we're talking politics and crypto. I mean, what a crazy. Because crypto isn't supposed to be about politics. It's supposed to be the polar opposite about governments and,
Right. It's supposed to be like the middle finger to politics.
Yeah, now it's all, now we're talking crypto and politics because it's all intermingled. Now it's all messy.
Well, it's the main.
I guess like if, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a main issue. It's a hot topic.
Right. And then so with Biden, like, okay, so we can just assume, and we'll just say like this. So the Democratic Party has been pretty much against crypto from the very beginning, whatever, right? But so does this give them an opportunity now to almost like reset as they head into the final stretch of the election season, where they can start to say we are pro crypto?
You can't if you back Kamala Harris, you can't, because she is with Elizabeth Warren, who's about as anti-crypto as it gets, right? And so I think that allegiance to each other is the clear tell message right there that crypto doesn't belong.
Or they tell you something.
Right.
Well, or they lie to you. They lie to you. Say, "Oh, we're pro crypto," and then as soon as they get elected, we're going to ban it all.
I wouldn't trust a fucking word either of them say about being pro crypto. I mean, she's so anti crypto that if they tried to change their rhetoric, it would be like you said, just total bullshit. Like
Kamala or Elizabeth Warren?
Both, either of them.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever heard Kamala say anything.
I don't think she has. I don't think that she's come out with.
I don't know.
Has anybody even ever heard from her in the last 4 years? Like, what does she do?
Oh, very fair, very fair. Good point.
It's so weird, I don't know. It's
so then in general though, MKID, is this good for crypto just in general without it being?
It's positive because she, I believe, even has worse of a chance of being elected than Biden had.
I agree.
So, so in that sense, now you have a candidate that's very much said pro crypto. So. Yeah, again, it's so weird to see that you would think this shouldn't be a freaking political issue. I mean, it really should, right? It should be empowering people, right, that make more money, bring in more money for taxes, that helps schools. I mean, it helps everybody else out, right? Mm-hmm. You would think that would be the thing, but man, they love to take away the power from the people, don't they? They just don't want you making any money. They just want you to be on the government teat, right? The little
teat suck on that teat.
I don't want to do that too much. You show me your funnel thing there. I don't want to be making sucking sounds too much.
Yeah, right. Well, okay. So, all right, let's add another layer to this then, right? What do you think about the announcement? Or it wasn't even an announcement. Somebody, I think one of those people that are idiots that track people's private jets and stuff, said that Elon had touched down in Nashville, right? So now that's a clear indicator that Elon will be around this week for the Bitcoin Nashville conference. So what does that mean? Does that mean that Trump makes some announcement like, if I'm elected, Elon's going to be this, or this is what we're doing? Like, there's going to be, in my opinion, there has to be some massive announcement coming our way, in my opinion, at the Bitcoin conference. There is always something.
What if it's not like that related? This just came here, but what if it's something like Trump saying like, I've worked out a deal with Elon where Bitcoin will be accepted for, whatever, right? Tesla.
I think it would be something even bigger. Like, here's the deal. Like, we said, like, we're gonna bring Bitcoin in as a reserve, right? And then we're gonna have Elon, be whatever, it's the cabinet member or whatever position that oversees like this crypto reserve, however it might end up being, right? Like, who knows? There's potentially, remember, this is all speculation, so everybody speculate away. What do you think that Elon and Trump?
I saw someone else do one of those, like, I heard from sources like Jamie Dimon might be, what is it, like Secretary Treasury or Treasury Secretary,
something like that.
That he might ask him.
I would put about 1 cent on that, because a lot of these posts that get posted, like BlackRock's going to be the Treasury Secretary, Mr. Fink.
Oh yeah, Mr. Fink.
Yeah, that is sensationalized. I don't believe that to be the case. I think if anything, you're going to have maybe Elon on some type of advisory council,
a board
type of thing. Because normally these politicians, they don't assign positions until they're actually in office. So they may just say, hey, Elon is going to be overseen as an advisor for whatever council they're going to try to set up. That would be my
or maybe he's like the director, like the communications director, right? Like he is in charge of handling the media, and everything will be, specifically on X, or, he isn't something about like some other platform. I know he's got his True Social, but
there's that's not bad, Jay. What if that is it? Like, I'm coming back to X, and it's like him and Elon, right? And he's like
what Tucker did. Like Tucker did. Like, I'm going to be exclusive on X, and so the announcement is, Trump is now going to be doing his State of the Union specifically on X, because he doesn't want to promote, any other. It's it's free. For
how much could Truth Social really be worth? Like, Elon could, like, he could say, like, I'm selling it to Elon for whatever, $30 million.
Oh, go ahead.
I read something before where it's like, oh, sorry, I'm going to cut you off there.
Whatever happens, Elon is going to pump his bags. Oh, I was just saying, whatever happens, Elon is going to pump his bags. That's what's happening here.
You're right. That is what matters. Pump our bags, Elon.
Pump. Come on, come on, Daddy.
We didn't think about this. Maybe he got free tickets from the Orange Man, and he's just going there because he got free tickets. We never. That's it.
Yeah, Elon could just be cruising around, seeing what's up, right? Like, hey, what is everyone's opinion?
I'm kind of bored for the next few days. Let's go. I got the free
doing interviews with the Web3 crew.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, dude. And then hopefully we'll get them both to Karate Combat on Thursday night. That'll be.
Oh my God! You and me are going to be there when that would be great if we're just.
Maybe
I don't even
that
care
was
if he
the
doesn't
whole
talk
reason.
to us.
Yeah,
he could not talk to us, but if we're standing beside him in enough fucking airtime, that is huge.
Oh, we'll talk to him.
So I read something that I think January 1st, 2025, central banks are allowed to hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets. So I wonder if it's something like that's all going to tie into this next election, because November is the election, and shortly after January, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good call. What if the announcement? Okay, I'm just like, now we're just fucking speculating.
Yes,
Trump's big announcement is like, look, hey, like, we all, like, everyone there will be anti Gary Gensler. Like, literally, there won't be a single pro Gary Gensler person there. If he's like, first thing I'm doing, firing Gary Gensler, and I'm going to make Elon head of the fucking SEC.
Boo! That's what I would do. And then he'd say, "Just fucking kidding. I'm shutting down the SEC." And then we'd be like,
"Boo!" Yeah! Then Elon would be like, "Go fuck yourself."
That would be great. Let's shut the SEC down. Right? Isn't that what we want to do? Or do we just want new leadership? What do we need?
I think we just want, like, people in general and history, like, we do need we just need some oversight and some, like, help, where it's like, we don't need to be hit with a hammer every time we're trying to do anything. Especially, like, United States has always been known for, like, forefront of technology and everything, where it's like, we don't need to be hit with a hammer. We just need, like, actual guidance, bro. Like, everyone's okay with playing by the laws and the rules, but, like, at least just lay them out. And that's why maybe you say, like, it won't be the SEC, it'll be the CFTC, who at least has a history of, like, giving a shit with.
Can we just fast forward to the dystopian future where we just mind our own business and we just control our own money, and they just don't get any of it because they have been proven.
Put you in a cryo chamber for that, buddy.
All they want to do is fund the war machine. They don't want to actually, like, build society. So we reject that. No more of that bullshit. That's where I'm ready for. Send me to the.
Do you know what I'd really like? Huh? Pardon my French. My wet dream. The orange dude comes out and says, anybody making money in cryptocurrency is going to be tax free.
He's like, and if you're losing money, you have to pay taxes. No more rugs. No
Can you
more rugs.
Can you imagine that? Just it's cryptocurrencies tax free, and all that money coming out of cryptocurrency going into economies. Can you imagine that?
That'd actually be really great. Like in Portugal, where they are forward thinking.
Yeah, I mean there are countries that already are doing that, but I mean just the United States. So that would you want to talk about a stimulating event?
Yeah.
Listen, right. Like
feel
think
like
of the companies that would flock back, right?
I would think so. I think that would bring a lot of attention. This is a great time too. I got to look at the chat too to make sure there's nothing in there that I haven't been looking at all. But I do want to make sure that if you guys are watching and you want to be a part of this conversation, obviously we'll take a look at the chat and see what that says. But you can always join the space as well and hop on stage if you're already here. Just raise your hand and be a part of the conversation. What do you think? If you were paying attention to social media this weekend, we got Trump, obviously. Vivek will be there. Who else is there? Elon Musk is now rumored in town. I mean, potentially setting up a very massive announcement about, I would assume, Bitcoin. They don't really talk about anything else other than Bitcoin at the Bitcoin conference. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what that is. But make sure that you guys are smashing the like wherever you're watching. But come join the conversation. I think that'll be fun. Go ahead, Mike.
So, in regards to like Biden and crypto, I can't speak for altcoins, but when it comes to Bitcoin, I really don't think Bitcoin cares about politics. It's been going up and doing well before it was politicized, and it's going to continue to go up regardless. People are always going to go find a country that is more suited for what they want to do. The wealthy will always go to another country that's better for them taxes or whatever. So it'll just move crypto adoption elsewhere if the U.S. is not friendly to it.
Do you think?
But that's a fair point. But I think that's like, isn't this the opportunity for America to like reset and say like we actually wanted to stay here, like we were just fucking around and we're
Just
sorry,
kidding.
everybody.
I think they don't have a choice to, because I think other countries are adopting it at rapid pace, and I think other countries that are less their dollars worse off that have more adoption. So I think it's like a necessity, like you have to.
Fair, but that's good for people like you and me, like being in Canada. Like that's actually really good for us because Canada usually follows the lead of the United States.
Do you think bringing someone
100%.
like now again, we don't know if this is true. It's a tweet that everybody read. Now the other addition that we saw this weekend was Larry Fink possibly getting some kind of position within the administration. What
I had seen. I saw that tweet, right? And then I saw like people say what they want about the Krasensteins and like some of them, but they're actually really well connected, right? They actually said that it was I think it was them. They said like it would be more likely that they've heard from people they're connected with that it would be someone like Jamie Dimon who actually understands like what's going on and what we the people want.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's my first thought. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you think that that catapults now the whole projection, and why was there such a high projection on the RWA ecosystem by 2030? What now you got to start to think, like Larry Fink's been talking about this. Do we think that this is now the floor potential, this $16 trillion ecosystem by 2030? If he jumps in, like we might see things rapidly grow far greater than 16 trillion, in the next 6 years.
100%. We're upgrading our current financial system. Eventually, it's all going to be digital. So all the money that's in fiat is going to be digital. So, and this seems like the path forward. So yeah, I think everything is going to go that way.
Well, if you think about it, technically, we already are digital. When you go to an ATM machine, right, it's digital, right? Your bank balance is digital. Everything is on ledgers in the bank, except where Bitcoin is, a blockchain that's eligible, viewable for everybody. Mm-hmm. Banks have their own type of ledger system that you can't see, right? You can't see what other people's accounts are and actually how much they have on their records. With blockchain, you get to see that. So, I mean, we're already in a digital space if you think about it.
Oh, I mean, with the rare exception,
but like my mom still goes to the bank and checks her checkbook. Like we're not quite there yet, but it's definitely moving that way rapidly. But now it's come to speed. There's still a lot of paperwork you go fill out when you go to the bank. Like, you open a banking. How many papers you got to sign?
So, yeah, I mean that's Yeah, or you could just set up like a Cash App account where you don't really sign any paperwork and you have a routing number and you have an account number. I mean, like that, like eventually, like as we totally phase out the old system, like think about checks. Like your mom says she may still balance a checkbook and stuff. I think my mom still does as well. I think my mom writes checks. But that's something that will phase away. Like I don't write checks. If I need a check for something, I'm going to the bank and having them make it. There's not a chance in hell. We might actually have a checkbook now that I think about it. See, but that's what I'm saying. Like when was the last time you even like thought about writing a check or whatever? Everything is paid digitally. So again, now the exception of what you rarely need cash for, you use your debit card, right? Everything, like we are already there.
And there's already certain, this summer, traveling to different theme parks across the country, and most of them are already like cashless. You can't even go, like,
Right.
hey, can I get some popcorn? I got $10 here. No, you have a debit card, or they have like little machines where you put cash in to give you like a gift card so you can use it in the park. Yeah, it's already pushing that, which is.
So was COVID a part of the agenda so that we would turn to a cashless society so we could start beta testing this in certain locations?
Well, and it's easy to track. Very easy to track.
Might have just got himself shut down.
So many debit cards now will be covered in the cocaine that the $1 American bills used to be covered in. There's not a debit card in America that doesn't have cocaine on it now.
I mean, what is that? Isn't there like that? There is like some statistic with dollar bill, like $100 bills, right? Or just all currency?
Yeah. I think it's specifically dollar bills, but
I thought it was 20s.
Geez, I'm rich people.
Man, I thought it was hundreds. Like I only do my lines with hundreds.
It's going to be real interesting to see how drug dealers in the future on the corner, how they, what do you do in the Cash App?
They're like, just tap here, bro. Just tap here. I got my square reader here. This one's drug free. Government can't track this square reader.
I feel like that would be much better if our cost of money here in Canada.
Dude, I would just do a QR code like the strippers do. Like, zip, scan me, send me money.
Good idea.
Oh God, you're gonna have a whole new tattoo industry of QR codes being tattooed on people's asses, right? Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, I changed.
Sorry, can you stop working? I can't quite get the QR code.
Yeah, can you bend over again because it's stretching? It's not quite reading on my phone.
Golly. Oh, I love how these conversations go from political to not political very fast.
Yeah, but we are 9:30 though, so you should just give a nice little reset.
I think we could say one thing. We can all agree. I don't think our lives in this world can get any freaking crazier. I mean, it's just like, okay, you hear something like, hey, this every weekend it's like, oh, now we're doing this, or we've got attempted assassination attempts. Now, Kamala's running. Biden's got COVID. We have talking about Bitcoin being, a reserve currency. I mean, how crazy can we get, man? This is some next level shit right here.
We're living in a movie. We're all, or as some people like to say, a simulation. But I think everybody's living our own movies here. We are the star of the show. And speaking of the star of the show, you could be the star of the show. All you got to do is raise your hand and come speak if you are listening in the space. So shout out to you guys down in the crowd. Come on up and hang out with us and chit chat. Let us know what you think about your opinions about all this stuff, whether it's QR codes on strippers or political crypto stuff. Smash the like.
And the more you come up on stage, like the better looking you get. That's a proven fact.
That's a fact. So I am excited, honestly, for Larry Fink to have a cabinet position and for my Ondo bags to go to the moon. That's what I'm excited for. I'm exactly excited for that. And Dr. Kathy,
surely that's not really going to happen, right? Surely that's not really a real thing. That had to be a fake post, and I mean that would be to me that would seem to be the most anti-Trump thing that could happen. But maybe I'm crazy.
But I feel like you've probably have to make some concessions, right? You have to compromise, and you have to give some people that are part of the establishment positions because the machine has to still run. That's one thing that I learned actually a little while ago. It was probably a couple years ago, and it's why you see some of these people that are career politicians, because it takes a lot to run the machine, and you can't flip the operator of the machine every couple years, because then the machine wouldn't run, and that's unfortunately what it is.
Okay, so with Elon Musk, does anybody think that maybe he could be appointed to something with maybe a cabinet position?
Communications, maybe he is the he'll be like the director of communications, right? Like they have free speech
for transportation. I mean, the guy's making cars and tunnels and spaceships. I mean, he would be better suited for transportation and infrastructure kind of things. But,
wow, that's a great point.
I mean, versus communicate. I mean, yeah, we do have Starlink, but if you think about his entire base is always based upon.
I just mean more for like Trump's ability to communicate with the world on a unbiased level, right? So it's, there's some, I don't want to say partnership or some exclusivity that he would have with the X platform in order for the truth to get out about whatever. Who knows? That's just an idea.
No, I mean, that's
have a partnership. Would it be unbiased then?
What's that?
If you had like a partnership with Trump and X, then would people think it's still unbiased anymore?
No, because I think the whole point.
Not.
No, I think the whole point is because of free speech, right? Like no other media outlet that is around is a proponent of free speech, right? You can't. CNN certainly isn't. Fox is not. All the subsidiaries are not. Your local channels just happen to be, siblings of the main channels, and so. I mean, where would you actually get an honest opinion besides straight from the source? And I mean, I
think people already think that that's very biased. I mean, the people I would say, if you probably go to more the progressive liberal people, they would say that X is already extremely biased. Now, if you go to conservative side or centrist or moderate, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, well, freedom of speech. We're allowing everybody to have a voice. Again, there's only really one side that really wants to allow people not to have a voice because it may be offensive. If you're kind of a conservative or a centrist, I mean, you kind of like, well, everybody should have their opinion and present their facts, present their arguments, and then allow people to make their own conclusions. But that gets very, very offensive to certain people when they cannot produce facts to back up what their statements are. So it gets a little contentious when then you start screaming and yelling and say it's hate speech and you're bigoted and racist, and then that's your argument when you can't defend your position. I have a lot of respect for people on both sides. If you can give a valid argument on what your beliefs are and you can base it upon facts, then maybe we need to look at what you're saying. Because if that's a better way, I'm all for going the easiest, best way, and if it's a conservative way, go for it. If it's a progressive way, ultimately, if it moves the needle down the road to everybody is in a better position because of those policies, let's support that. Let's support, things that help people as a collective better than, one individual group. So anyways,
I'm a big fan of what you're saying, man. Like, this is like our time. It's like almost like our time to kind of reset a lot of how we as a country come together. I mean, this could be a time to unify.
The great thing about social media is that you can make it the echo chamber of whatever you believe in, right? Depending on who you follow and the kinds of things that you click on. My X is filled up with nothing but crypto, and it's great. So, but I could fill it with anything I wanted. I could fill it with politics on the left or on the right. I could fill it with absolutely anything. And people love to have their own opinions validated. And that's why you end up with these little echo chambers on social. But at the same time, we're human beings, right? Human beings can't help but be biased. And, we've got political opinions, even if we don't share them, we have them. We have, certain opinions about crypto, about traditional finance, about, food, pizza, everything. And so then when you have something like, let's say you take X as an aggregate, that's just an aggregation of the biases of the millions of people who are on it every day. And which piece of that you choose to kind of look into just depends on your own preferences and something of the algorithm, what you clicked before. But humans we're just beautifully biased all the time,
That
one way or another.
that's probably facts, 100% facts. My timeline is filled with crypto and food, and I'm A-okay with that.
There you go.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And you've crafted it that way and you love it. And that's why you keep coming back for it, because you're like, yeah, this is awesome. Crypto and pizza.
Crypto and pizza. And now, and now a lot of fighting stuff, which is.
Yeah.
I think it's very important because, like you said, the algorithm, you like one thing and it'll just choose all the same things to you. I think it's really important to have diversity of thought. I think if you've got to go out of a way to find people that disagree with us and try to understand their side of the story, like the shoe on the other foot kind of thing. I think that diversity of thought is super important for understanding the whole picture.
Absolutely. Did the person just for my own sake, did the person that screamed in the background, did they just get hurt?
No, they're just chatting up like coffee time here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I was like, is he in like one of those murder hostels?
I thought it sounded for a second there like it was a shower running in the background and somebody dropped the soap.
Jesus. No, did it? Oh my goodness.
But I didn't hear any banjos playing, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Where were we?
Social media and curating your feed and algorithms and fun hilariousness.
Yeah.
Sorry for
so
derailing your thing there, Doctor.
That's obviously, when you think about that, obviously, like we've all carefully curated our social media algorithms for years, right? And then every couple years, every 4 years, the political train comes around, and you either choose to stay out of it or you don't. And that obviously starts to take, I start to say my timeline is obviously filled with a lot of other things now because of just where we are in the political cycle in this year and why it affects crypto so much. And so now that's all part of it. Has anybody seen that shift in their algorithm change where you're seeing more political stuff than you care to? Has anybody muted anything?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because I generally try to kind of stay out of it, and I need to focus on my project and other things. But good Lord, here it comes and it deluges your feed whether you want it or not. Yeah. And I've seen stuff from both sides. Mm-hmm. I've seen stuff, and this is probably maybe because I try to stay out of it, right? So I'm getting stuff thrown into my For You feed from both sides. And I'm like, well, I don't want any of them. Go away.
Yeah, I do a lot of blocking and a lot of muting, and it is, again, it's from both sides. Like there are stream opinions that I just don't care to hear about, and it's fine. Like everybody's entitled to give their opinion. It's up to us. Like the whole cyberbullying thing. Like you can choose what you listen to and what you don't. And if you like someone's rhetoric, keep listening to it. And if you don't, you can always mute them so you don't have to hear it, and then it doesn't affect you and it doesn't make you mad. I saw a comment from Enrique Suave a little bit. Oh, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I think that's really important, right? Like you've got the ability to, again, curate your social media, even if like you don't want to hear about this political stuff. Like just go on the mute and the block.
That's true. You got an option. I should probably use it more, but then there's this part of me that's got a fear that I'm gonna the little FOMO. I'm gonna miss out on something important that could come from any direction. So that's why I have never actually muted anything ever in my For You feed. I carefully curate, my following, but I've never muted anything because I'm like, well, what if something, that's interesting that I don't expect might come along? So much FOMO.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I liked the other day, there's this guy that was posting a funnel with a phallus at the end, and I liked his post, and now I have an entire I guess I got a lifetime membership to Spencer's on my feed now, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
And for the record, I did not get the beer bong. That will not be coming to Nashville. As much as I thought that would be a fun little party trick, we decided against it. And by we, I will say Whitney strongly advised me that it's not the right move. And after going through some of those comments, I don't know if it was, I think because it's Strangely ironic. I think it would be funny. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go check my timeline, scroll down a couple days. If you see the picture of Spencer's, you will notice the post about 10 minutes later of me. Check it out.
Just when you think you shouldn't do it, you probably should do it.
I know.
Be funny.
Yeah, all these people who aren't coming to Nashville gave a very positive opinion on you buying it.
I know, because like here's kind of what I'm thinking. And listen, I am very confident in who I am. I understand that shock value is what gets the views. So Mr. Dude and I have a conversation because it may be where we need to walk down Broadway Street with said beer bong in the Chattahoochee Daddy and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And we ask people questions about crypto and then take a beer bong.
Wouldn't have been terrible because with the Hawk Tua girl being there, if we could get her to do a beer bong out of that.
A dong bong. A dong bong.
There you go.
The dong bong.
Dong bong that thing.
Well, most people, crypto people, especially in the meme coin space, they do love a good enema. So, because that's what most of the crypto space does for you, right?
Oh, yeah. It
purges you clean. Your money just right out the door.
Woo! Oh, gosh.
The Royal Flush.
I hate you guys.
But put some Everclear in there, and that way they can feel the real burn.
People were saying that they're like, this isn't a beer bong. Like, this is for something different. I'm like, well, what would you use it for? And I didn't know that was like a real thing. That people do that. That's craziness.
Yeah, we have gone off the deep end today.
Yeah, I did not need to learn that. I did not need to be the one thing I learned today.
Now people are going to be googling, but the Everclear and the alcohol administered in other ways other than oral. What?
It is weird. People are weird. Why are people so weird? That's a topic for tomorrow. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Why the fuck are people so weird? We're all weird. Why are people weird? Like the weird ones. That's not actually the topic tomorrow. That's rude. I won't say that ever again. I apologize.
I think that's a good topic.
I agree. I actually wrote that down.
I will speak. I'll speak tomorrow.
All right, hell yeah. Let's be shock jocks. Let's go.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, if you go into our Telegram, you will understand why Wardo's like, I'll talk, no problem. All the posts he puts in there.
I think the military's corrupted me. I've seen some things. I have seen some things.
Yeah. I've seen some things, and you have made some posts, and I've seen some things too, and I like it. So yeah, all right, let's do that tomorrow. Why are people weird? That'll be the topic. I did see from Enrique Suave going back to, because we can circle back for the last 15 minutes and just talk about what we're talking about. So it's so we end on a positive note versus trash talk, which I actually don't mind. It's just I do want to address this because I thought this was a good comment from Enrique saying Musk most likely gets put on a committee to recommend AI regulation. That does not sound far off either. I think that's a really good idea. Who do you want in charge of AI for the country? Do you want Sam Altman or would you want Elon? Sam Altman
got 100%.
Yeah, Sam Altman got fired from his own company because he was so far out there with some of his ideas. Obviously, there were some other issues, but they said that he was so far out there with his ideas that it was kind of unrealistic. While I get maybe that's good because you've got, some creativity will come out of that, but you can't have that in charge. I don't think so. My opinion.
Yeah, plus it's much more likely if put Elon on a committee, then he doesn't have to give up running his businesses, which is he would have to do if he becomes a cabinet member, which is a federal employee. Speaking as a former federal employee, you cannot have direct influence over a business operation that would be considered biasing in some way.
That makes sense.
Great.
Yeah, you literally have to do what you do in crypto as a founder. You have to renounce ownership. Literally, you have to put it over to trustees, and then somebody else has to have full control of it. So.
Yeah, you have to hand all that control over to somebody else for the duration. And man, I just do not see Elon being willing to do that.
No, not with all the important stuff that he's doing. So being a committee member an oversight committee member would be more up his line. That makes sense.
What's crazy is how many
Right.
different ideas we all sat up here that like Elon could legitimately oversee. Like that's how much he's doing for the world.
Oh, I mean, you got communications, transportations, AI, crypto. I mean, how many other things?
Space.
Oh, yeah, space. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Well, I mean, that's what you have, somebody that's a brilliant mind that's well diverse, right? And he's doing multiple things. So he blankets a lot of different fields, which is pretty.
Shout out
pretty
you,
cool.
Elon. Shout out you if we know you're listening. On
Yeah.
Anonymous.
Yeah, come on the show someday. Do you think that Adrian Dittmar account is one of those AI accounts that just because it came out of nowhere and it sounds so much like Elon, even though they say it's not? Do you think that that he is one of those AI accounts and it's like Elon's test account?
He does. He's admitted he has a burner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I
like
think we'll test that with the 10-foot pole. I mean, again, we don't even know how much AI is actually involved in our day-to-day lives, especially here on social media. What is real, what's not real? I mean, that's the $1 billion question to figure out what's going, because I get a lot of comments and all of a sudden you get a bunch of people, like all of a sudden just commenting on things like, hey, where did all these people come from? And then you realize, it's probably AI bots,
Yep. And then
it's kind of weird if you think about. And if you think about the social ramifications of that, because so many people get, offended by comments and how that could be used against people. Can you imagine if somebody's very impressionable and there's a whole bunch of AI bots going on and say negative things about you, and a person, terrible things happen, they take their life or something like that because of AI technology. I mean, yeah, this is a rabbit hole that opens up very, very, vast, or gives people false sense of hope or false sense of, if a political party is pushing something and nobody's interested in it, but you have thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of AI bots supporting it. Look at all these people. And then people start to question, well, maybe I'm on the wrong side of history, and how you can sway people opinions, because most people don't like to be outsiders. They like to go with the flow.
Right.
So you can imagine how AI could be used in social.
So so how do we then? There has to be then some kind of verification process that you are an actual human being. There will be at some point a KYC process that, right now you got the blue check mark, but you could still, you could pay to get a gold check mark for you don't have you could pay to do all that stuff, and to be a bot farm. You could just pay for all the blue check marks just to, like you said, just keep the opinion.
I think the only way you combat AI is with AI. You have to have it's like a force of good and evil. Crazy. I think you literally have to have AI protectors out there protecting, saying this is AI. We know what it is, and because an individual person. You think about quantum computing, you think of all the stuff, how quick AI can just sprout up. Us humans would not be able to detect it. You would have to have a powerful AI bot to be able to go in and say this is all fake.
So at what point do we give up control, right? So we've got the bots out there looking out for our best interests, so we've given them the power to govern, and it's the AI bots.
Or here's your other option: you leave social media. You just don't participate in it.
That's a good point.
But see, this is the drug and this is the addict, right? Everybody needs their hit of social media. Can you imagine? Just delete all your social media, go about your business.
But then you wouldn't know when the bots have risen up. You'd be one of the last. No, you'd be like, oh, look at this cute robot dead.
Yeah, right. You go to your ATM. Well, how come I don't have any money? Oh, you didn't figure that you weren't online. So you don't have a nice social media credit score anymore. So.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you're about to die.
Got to keep the socials up.
That's the whole reason why Elon Musk made Neuralink. Instead of the AI is working up, he wanted to give humans like a fighting chance, like us having the same intelligence in our brains with Neuralink. Like anything you do on your phone, you can essentially do in your brain.
Fair. He's helping create the Terminators to fight back against Skynet.
Would you do it?
Don't know it yet.
All right. Here we go. Here's the question of the day today. Would you take the Neuralink? Would you install that into your brain? Neil, go ahead and go first.
That's a big negative, sir. I can't get behind that. But if he wants to make me a new eyeball. That'd be cool.
Okay. All right. There we go. Dr. Catherine.
If I was paralyzed, if I had a, blindness, paralyzation, etc., I probably would go for it to try to get that capability back. But in my currently, knock on wood, thank God, healthy state, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. Mike, the modern Canadian. You're next.
At this current moment, no. As it gets better and it's like, safe and, everyone's using it, and probably yes.
All right. Doom. What about you? Neuralink.
I don't really need it. I mean, unless I can become immortal, but no, I don't need it.
Oh yeah. M-Kid. What about you?
No, I don't need it. I wouldn't take it because my wife already says I'm a know-it-all. So,
You could fill my body with adamantium. I'm taking the risk. I will take the super soldier serum. Fucking give me the cocktail. Let's do this shit.
All right, Mr. Dude, all in.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But,
Go ahead.
but what about if it's like the LASIK surgery video I saw the other day, and they're like, oh, their freaking eyes are burning because their nerves or something got severed.
That's
while they
just
were
part of the
doing it.
risk. If I could have superhuman strength, give me the risk.
Golly, man, you are riskier than we. Man, that's El
Gotta do it for the
Capitan.
culture. Think of the shows we could do if all of a sudden you're like, hey, show me those claws that come out of your hand again.
Oh, wait, so you Wolverine or you just like a know-it-all?
Oh, just give me all of it. I don't know. Give me all of it. I think it teach me. I know Kung Fu.
Can you imagine if you have a Neuralink, you would instantly have the information, so there'd be no communication necessary, right? Because you would be able to stream to that person everything that you wanted to convey. Basically, download the file through your brain, and in a quarter, 1/1000th of a second, you already know everything.
Oh, talk about you talk about being able.
Communication would cease to exist.
Oh,
you would never have to open your mouth.
Oh, and people would get so screwed that messaging would get intercepted and changed so fast. It'd be horrible. No way.
Oh, can you imagine if you got a virus?
I'd be rewriting all your fucking Wikipedia
You thought
pages.
COVID was bad.
Yeah, you're gone. Okay, so Dr. L. Don came up while we were asking about Neuralink, so I want to know yes or no. What do you think? Are you getting the Neuralink?
GM guys, GMJ chains.
GMJ.
I'm with Dr. Catherine. I would have to have like some sort of condition or something like that will cause me to, or get me to get it. But I'm also with Mr. Dude, my girlfriend, same thing. She's like, just shut up, man. You think you know it all. Same thing. So it's like 50-50, man. If I'm either disabled or something, yeah. But right now, I'm all good.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because like, was it the first guy? He was paralyzed?
Yeah. I believe he was a paraplegic.
Yes, and
he was moving the mouse with his mind.
That's so awesome.
I guess the moral question would be, is you use it to restore people that have lost something, right? To make them equal to people that have their abilities, or do you use it to put an unfair advantage over, everybody else?
I mean,
I think that's where the oversight comes in, right?
You'd like to say that you use it to put everybody on a level playing field, but people will always use what they can to have an advantage, and that's just the way that it would be.
Humans will always human.
Humans will human.
Make me Captain America.
Listen, if it was like it gave you super abilities, we're talking. I'll rethink my decision. Right? I'm with the majority here that because I don't have any disabilities, I wouldn't.
I just have everyone's real name here. I'm just making a list for no reason at all for when I get my superpowers.
I don't forget anything. Yeah, I'm all for, like, if it could make me fly, done. I don't know if I'd want to fly. Would you want to fly?
Even if it could just make you super strong, right? And you can, leap tall buildings in a single bound.
I don't know if I'd want that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if I'd want that anyway. I'm kind of afraid of heights.
Until you have it.
I'm afraid of falling.
What if it makes you good at math?
What if it makes you get a what?
Good at
What
math.
if it makes you good at math and spelling? You know what? Screw that. I want it now. when
Yeah,
it's
see?
spelling bee.
Well, you just like know everything, right? Like the internet is just your brain, so you could be like, you know every language at that point. Like maybe there'd be like,
Well, that's like saying like you're plugged into like the network. It could just make you smart enough that where you have almost like what is like an eidetic memory, where you still have to do the research.
Well, then you throw your entire educational system out the window.
yeah,
Right.
Already
You would
what
never
we're
go to
doing.
college. You would then that's
That's it.
a
Everybody's-
multi-billion-dollar industry. So you're going to have a lot of pushback on that.
You're gonna screw over the liberals.
Yeah, you'll have to get
They all
the
just
Yale. You'll have to get the Yale Harvard chip upgrade. And then that's an extra $50,000 to get that program.
Mhm.
In your
Well, see, that's
because there's no other way.
right?
They have to capitalize off of something.
Think
You have to
about
make
that.
money with upgrades.
Think about that. That is just like think about that. It's like the Tesla, right? Like, oh, we got to do an update. Oh, you want the auto drive? That's going to cost you $15,000. But we'll get you the update. But you got to like update it every year, that kind of thing. That will, I bet. Think about that. That could be the packages. Like, oh, you want to learn 7 languages? All right, it's just an extra $10,000.
Yeah, we only gave you the 2 languages package.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I'll wait until
you're a
V.
Harvard scholar. You're a Harvard scholar with the nice upgrade, the $1,000 package, and then you forgot to renew your subscription, and you go back to right? Can you imagine? That's what it would probably be like. Right?
You've been put in collections.
You're paralyzed again.
Get a GoFundMe for Jimmy so he can become that Harvard professor again, because this guy's a little with the R word over here now.
Imagine in the middle of class that happens to you too. You're like, you don't realize you forgot. Oh my god, I forgot to read your. Yeah, you shut down. And that's
like a
the end of
robot.
class today.
All right.
I like turtles. Yeah.
Oh, I love that video. I like turtles. Speaking of liking things, go ahead and like this video on your way out of here. It is 10 a.m. It's time for us to go. Y'all got shit to do, and so do we. So enjoy your day. Make yourself 1% better than you were yesterday. Now, remember, the last time we talked was Friday, so that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You are 3% better today than you were on Friday. Tomorrow, that'll be 4%. Now, if you've been hanging out with us for a while, you're like probably 500% better. Anyway. Do what you can to have a fun day. We'll see you this afternoon. Anything going on, Mr. Dude? Any other shows that I need to know of today? No.
Well, 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to do with the ethereal node.
That's right. So ethereal nodes.
Yeah. So once that post gets posted, we'll share that with you guys so you guys can have something fun to do tonight.
Perfect.
Learn about some new cool tech.
Perfect. Shout out to Barbie. I see you in the crowd. Tell Patrick what's up, and we'll see y'all later tonight. I'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern for the J Chain Show. Have yourself a day, baby. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.